Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Rob. You're watching
Lists of 13.
Here you'll find lists of various topics, all in sets of 13.
If you have tristodectophobia, an irrational fear of the number 13, this video may not be for you. Otherwise, enjoy the list. This video is part of a series we call Silly Laws by State.
You know, a lot of these laws were put into effect because something happened to make this law necessary.
That's disturbing.
Remember, we are not lawyers, and this should in no way be considered legal advice. We return to you today with another silly law. We started in Missouri, and then we went around Missouri, and now we're making our second trip around Missouri, so not the states that touch Missouri, but the states that touch Missouri. And we are now past the Gulf of Mexico, and we're going up the East Coast, and today we bring you 13 silly laws from Georgia.
Number 1, it's illegal to keep a donkey in a bathtub anywhere in the state.
There's got to be a story behind that. That's just kind of weird.
Probably. I would really like a donkey, and if it were like our current living situation, I'd probably have to keep him in the bathtub too.
Well, good thing we're not in Georgia, I guess.
Right, except for we would still get in an equal amount of trouble for keeping a donkey in our guest bathtub.
Right, especially if we didn't pay the pet deposit.
For sure, that'd be a problem.
Number 2, you cannot picnic in a graveyard anywhere in the state.
I mean, I guess this doesn't seem like a completely ridiculous law, but then I think about how sometimes people celebrate their loved ones, and some people spend a lot of time at a cemetery. Now, I'm not sure you'd necessarily picnic there, but it seems slightly insensitive.
Well, I mean, especially if the person that you are remembering is very fond of picnics, you could bring a picnic basket and hang out with Grandma Ethel or whoever.
Honey, it might be, would you like a picnic basket, boo-boo? Number 3, anyone who suffers personal injury when engaged in llama-related activities are responsible for any injuries they suffer. I don't know about you, but anything that sounds like llama-related activities just sounds like fun to me. Some llama drama.
I'm thinking about your one coworker right now, the one you told me who has the llama pajamas.
I wonder if she was in Georgia and she put on her llama pajamas, if that would be considered llama-related activity.
Right, like what if she was on a Zoom call and she had on her llama pajamas that have the little head and she flipped over in her chair? Would that be considered llama-related injuries and activities?
Definitely sounds like it to me.
Silliness.
Number 4, you cannot poison a rat without a permit in Dublin.
What is this, Ratatouille? I mean, come on, it's a rat. Unless he's cooking and cleaning, why would you have to get a permit to poison him?
That's the law.
I'd like to see it enforced. And not only that, I'd be like, I didn't know that was a rat. I think it's a mouse. Number 5, in Athens, Clark County, you may not give away goldfish to entice someone into a game of bingo.
Poker, the law says nothing about, but you better not do it for bingo.
Do you think this applies to the goldfish crackers or just actual goldfish?
That's a great question.
And then what if you give somebody goldfish crackers and tell them, I'll trade you these crackers for the real thing later? Sneaky, sneaky.
Number 6, bars are prohibited from having ladies' nights in Columbus.
Probably a story there. And now you know what I have in my head, the song Ladies' Night, and it makes me wonder if they play that, are they somehow implying that it's ladies' night and then they're going to get in trouble and break the law?
Very possibly.
Number 7, in Ackworth, all citizens must own a rake.
So my question about that, if you have roommates or you're living with somebody else, do both people have to own a rake?
Good question. And what about apartments like we live in? We clearly have no need for a rake. Do they just knock on your door and you're supposed to go to your storage unit and show your rakes?
I guess we could be like, listen, man, it is buried in the back and we're not taking everything out.
Hopefully that's going to suffice for the law.
Number 8, in Atlanta, you cannot tie a giraffe to a pole or street lamp.
Poor giraffe, that seems like something bad happened. But what if you leash him to a parking meter? That seems to be potentially a pole. Would they consider it a pole or parking meter?
That's a great question, but if you did that, you better pay the parking meter. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to take my giraffe if I had one, so many laws about giraffes. For those of you who don't remember, go back and check out the Illinois video. You cannot sit on your giraffe's neck and fish off the pier.
in Chicago.
Right. Number 9. Members of the State Assembly may not be ticketed for speeding while the State Assembly is in session.
I guess that sounds like a pretty good reason to me to try to get one of those positions.
So when we're talking about a session, is that like the whole season? Apparently, like the number of days?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So I'd just speed everywhere whenever I wasn't there.
Right.
And be like, do you know who I am? I'm a member of the State Assembly.
That reminds me of this video I saw on YouTube where there was a lady who was a cop that pulled this guy over who was some kind of lawmaker, and he was speeding a lot, and he was like, do you know who I am? And what it sounds like is if he was in Georgia, then that would have been a valid question.
Right.
Number 10, ball games are illegal in any city street in Dublin. And that makes me think of the part on Wayne's World where they are in fact playing hockey and they keep having to move the goal out of the street.
But hockey's not a ball game.
But they were playing it with a ball, if I remember correctly.
Number 11. In Gainesville, you cannot eat chicken with a fork. Spork it is.
Right. Number 12. In Atlanta, one man may not give another man a piggyback ride.
Lots of questions. And are we really considering a man genuinely a male in this case? Or are we talking about man and we're really meaning people? Like a person can't give another person.
I think the first scenario you were thinking of is probably correct, but then I think about it, and so like what would happen if my son wanted me to give him a piggyback ride? Is there an age restriction or something, or
is it like the legal age? If you're 18 or less, it's okay, and after 18 you're a man?
So many questions.
Is it when your voice drops?
But then there's so many people that during their teens they're like this and do a whole bunch of voice cracking and stuff.
And number 13, in Quitman, it is against the law for a chicken to cross the road.
Therefore, the gum also wouldn't cross the road. You like that?
Yes, but I'm wondering, like, for the law, the chicken doesn't get a ticket, so do they find its owner and then they say your chicken illegally crossed the road?
Or maybe the chicken has to go to chicken jail, you never know.
Is there a pound for chickens?
Thank you so much for listening to this list of silly laws from Georgia. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us in the comments what your favorite law is. And remember,
just because you didn't know the law, ignorance is not a defense. Thanks again for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.
And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to get notified when we post new videos.
After subscribing, ring the bell on YouTube or click follow next to our name on Facebook, then click edit settings. Choose how often you'd like to be notified of new videos. We hope you choose all videos.
After that, tell all your friends.
We hope you enjoy your day and keep being kind to one another.